Hey Saddleback Corona, happy 10th birthday. My name's Aaron.
And I'm Carrie. And on our 10th anniversary, we wanted to take a step back in history and give you a quick snapshot of the history of our campus.
You know, the story of Saddleback Corona actually begins with a small group of people who are living in Corona but attending the Lake Forest campus. And one weekend, Pastor Rick got up and asked the whole congregation if anyone would be willing to start a Saddleback somewhere. And so this small group of people, without knowing what it was going to look like, said, yes, we'd be willing to host Saddleback somewhere in our living room. And so this small group of people began meeting in Rick and Terry Nay's home. And as they continued to meet, more people found out about it and they continued to grow.
And because of the bold faith of this small group, Saddleback Corona, the second multi-site campus for Saddleback Church, was launched. Now, in typical Saddleback campus or Saddleback Church fashion, we did not know where we were going to be. With just a short period of time before the launch date of Easter 2008, we were still looking at over 55 locations to finally find the first home for Saddleback Corona. But we trusted God because we knew that where God guides, God provides. It was less than a month before Easter when Centennial High School suddenly became available, and we finally had a place to launch. Saddleback Corona held its first official services on Easter Sunday, 2008. Over 500 people showed up, and 43 people followed Jesus for the first time. It was an exciting time. But the path of pioneers is never easy, and 3 months later, on Father's Day, we found out that the school was going to go through some major construction and we would not be able to meet there the very next Sunday. The people prayed and we trusted God, and we learned the lesson at Saddleback, that we are fast, fluid, and flexible. Within a week, God again provided, and while there were no open places 3 months earlier, the Citrus Hills Intermediate Multipurpose Room miraculously opened up. So the next week, in June of 2008, we let as many people know as we could that we were now meeting there. We joked, if you can find us, you can join us. Every week, teams of people set up and tore down the multipurpose room. Every single chair had to be set up and torn down each week. Sound equipment, tech, kids' rooms, students, cafe, everything. We learned as a campus to empower our members, and that every member is a minister, and that nothing would happen without the sacrifice and service of our people. We became a tough campus, able to handle anything. This was the early stages of multi-sites at Saddleback, and so we got to be part of shaping what a multi-site campus looked like. Everything was new, and we developed people, plans, and processes. We learned the valuable lesson to keep things simple, practical, portable, reproducible, and flexible. Even to this day, you'll see that almost everything we have is on wheels or on a cart so that we can always be flexible.
After 4 years at Citrus Hills, it was time for us to look for a new place to meet that allow us to reach into the community and get us off of some folding chairs and into a nice auditorium. And so we moved from Citrus Hills to Santiago High School. Similar to Citrus Hills, our people faithfully set up and tore down kids, the patio, cafe, tech, the stage, student ministries, everything, every single week. And we also found new office space that allowed us to launch new ministries to reach out to the community. Our members started food pantry, celebrate recovery step studies and general meetings, care ministries, men and women's communities, local peace projects, you name it. And during this time, we began looking for a permanent home for our campus that would reach into new areas, but there was very little in Corona that would work. And we patiently and faithfully prayed and waited for God's timing because we know that His timing is always perfect. So in early 2017, after years of waiting, we finally found what would be our home campus in North Corona off of Hamner Road.
After 10 years of being a mobile campus with people praying and faithfully believing, we moved into this building in July of 2018 and held our grand opening just 3 weeks ago.
In the months that we've been at this building, we've already seen explosive growth. We've had record attendance every single week. More people are joining small groups and ministries, and people are finding real hope in Jesus. Today, we want to celebrate all that God has done, and we honor the people who have come before and made all of this possible. It truly takes unselfish people to build a great church. We have seen God work miracles in the past decade, and we believe that this is just the beginning. Our prayer is that our church would be known as the church that loves unapologetically, encourages relentlessly, and serves selflessly.
Happy 10 years. Here's to the next decade.
We love you, Saddleback Corona.